Hello there, audience. I am your host, James Tate. That to the left of me, or right of me, depending on how he feels during the night, is Kyle Nilsson. We're gonna get through
No.
this quick. We're gonna get this quick and easy. So we're going to be going a little bit differently for this one. Gilsson Nold podcast 19. We're going to be doing our predictions after my rankings, and then we're going to talk a little bit on coaches who might get fired and who are the best replacements for that team. Since the Panthers and Colts have already lost coaches as of this week, we're sort of curious how everything else will sort of fold out.
And we might even talk on what the hell the Colts are doing for a brief time in that discussion.
Yeah. So let's get on to the recaps. So starting with Eagles and Texans. Oh boy. So Eagles won 29-17.
And Eagles go 8-0 for the first time ever in their franchise.
And unlike the Texans, the Astros won the World Series. So woohoo.
Fucking oof. But guess what's next? Frank Reich's demise. And guess who got the revenge? Bill Belichick.
Yes, the Super Bowl revenge. This actually is my worst game of the week. Nothing tops
Same.
Colts and Patriots at all during this week in terms of just how poor this play was. This wasn't even defensive. This just sucked.
It's just awful. Sam Ellinger was getting pressured so many times to the point that Patriots got their most sacks in 7 years with the 9. This was just... God, I could see why Frank got fired after this.
Depressing. Truly and utterly depressing. Despite him being 40, 33, and 1 overall, it's very much a what have you done for me lately society we live in.
One playoff appearance. But, next, my game of the week, Packers versus the Lions. What an absolutely beautiful game this was. This is a defensive masterpiece because holy smokes, so many swatted balls, crucial interceptions in the red zone, fourth down stops, and most importantly, history, as Aaron Rodgers has officially hit 100 INTs and is a career all-time, which is amazing for the Lions. That's something to feel accomplished for.
Congratulations, you Huska asshole, you finally done it. You also made a Dan Campbell defense look good, so I hope you feel proud for yourself.
I feel absolutely proud.
This was a great game. As I said, defense masterclass. Aaron Rodgers made some horrible mistakes. I mean, throwing balls when there were people wide open just sort of makes you wonder. People should put more respect on Drew Brees because he did not look nearly as this bad as he did in his final year than Roger has so far.
Yeah, it's fucking just awful. There's no more excuse for the Packers. The whole team's bad.
Speaking of Drew Brees, the Chargers beat the Falcons 20-17 in the Choke Bowl 2022, and in very Falcons and Chargers fashion, Chargers fumble the ball whenever they get into field goal range, only for the Falcons to recover and then fumble it whenever he sees Justin Herbert about to slam him into the ground, and the Chargers recover it and get back in field goal range and kick the game winner.
Justin Herbert, he used some kind of telekinesis or something here. I don't know how the hell that got fumbled, but gosh, as a Chargers fan, because I know you guys want to hear my Chargers opinions, firstly, this is a deja vu of the 2020 game. Literally the same game that ends with us winning with a field goal 20-17. It must be a copy, but Khalil Mack gets a great fumble, which actually saves us in the end. But the thing that I need to talk about most here is our run defense. Falcons ran 201 yards total on us against 4 different players, one of them being Marcus Mariota. And their highest receiving player of that day was Kyle Pitts for 27 yards and 2 receptions. This team is not looking good for a 5-3 team. I am terrified as a fan. But Dicker the kicker.
They won't be 6-3. They won't be 6-3. No worries.
But we have Dicker the kicker.
Dicker the kicker. Next up is Bills losing to Jets in somewhat of an upset fashion 2017. The Jets have a great defense. Obviously, we know that. But this was Josh Allen's game to lose. Unlike the Miami game where he only made one really crucial mistake, he made 2 bad interceptions, and he just couldn't get the job done. He decided to play hero ball instead of slowly move the ball downfield, and that's just not how Josh Allen should play.
But it was also great defensive play by the Jets, man. I mean, come on. If the Bills would have gotten that 4th and 21 at the end of the game, if it wasn't for that swat. So.
True. Another 2017 game back-to-back.
It's
Vikings beat the Commanders in an absolute fun game. This was a wild game. The crowd, surprisingly entertaining. I'm surprised how loud it was.
to me, I always felt these two teams always just have some kind of chemistry. And it shows right here, dude. I don't know why, just something about these two teams.
It does help that we got Kirk Thuggins out of this, and now Adam Schefter ruined the meme by recreating it.
As he ruins
Thanks,
everything.
Adam.
As always.
But moving on to the next game, the Bengals pounded the Panthers 42-21. Not much to say there other than Joe Mixon finally had a great performance against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL.
Great job. Then next, Raiders versus the Jaguars. There's two things that came out of this. A blown lead from the Raiders. Now you know how it feels.
And for once, Trevor Lawrence was actually clutch and Derek Carr wasn't. It's confusing. Utterly confusing.
Has a comeback in his name now. He has a game-winning drive in his name. Way to go, Trevor. You did it.
Now, make more. No, I mean, that game was pretty forgettable outside of the blown lead.
You're not even wrong. It just came and damn went. Like, what the hell?
But a game that definitely will be remembered for the rest of this year. My game of the week. Dolphins beating the Bears 35-32. I'm proud. I like to think Justin Fields listens to this, right?
Of course he does.
And he heard my comparison of him to Mitchell Trubisky, and he's like, I got to prove that asshole wrong. And he has so far. I mean, this week, we saw a little bit in the Cowboys game, but especially this week, the dude is absolutely just electric throughout this entire game. I mean, he ran the ball for 180 yards. It was like he was back in college.
One being a 70-yard touchdown run.
True. My thing is, if you are a mobile quarterback, don't let an offensive coordinator hold you down with simple pass options. Imagine if that was what Lamar Jackson's offense was all about. And in a league that requires us to focus more heavy on the quarterback's strengths instead of their weaknesses, yes, we do need a drop-back quarterback. Every quarterback should be a drop-back quarterback. But if you have the mobility, that's just something special, then allow that quarterback to use it. That's what the Ravens have done. That's what the Chiefs have sort of done, but they've mainly have a plethora of talent, really. So I'm sort of curious how this Bears team will go throughout the rest of the season. They sort of finally have found their offensive scheming. But, trading away two key pieces on defense sort of allows you to have poor defensive play. And that's what we saw in this game.
Oh, yeah. Another thing mentioned in this game is just Tua himself, because Tua's been starting to get some hate off of this game because of some of the throws he made. One being a 4th and 1 that was an easy first down, and it was completely underthrown by Tua. He was doing this all game, compared to Justin Fields, who's actually improving.
Yeah. My thing with Tua is, I don't think he's a bad quarterback, but this was clearly an issue that he's always had. It was an issue in the Combine. It was an issue in Bama. He's not very accurate throwing it downfield. He doesn't have the arm strength to do it. And that's not a bad thing. Great quarterbacks do not have the arm strength. Drew Brees, first one that comes to my mind. He wasn't throwing 70-yard bombs.
No, he was not. He was doing slants.
Yeah, he was fucking throwing 5-yard checkdowns or 25-yard passes in the slant, especially towards the later end of his career. But with Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, that's a special feat to be that accurate downfield and have that much arm strength. That not every quarterback is going to be like that. That should not be the prototype. Those two are special and in their own league.
Oh yeah.
But next up is Seattle versus Arizona. Seattle winning 31-21. And was a fun game, mainly to see Arizona implode in the second half.
Oh, dude. They had imploded from the start. Geno Smith, Geno Smith is breaking records. His highest touchdown total ever. 15 touchdowns, 4 picks, 2,199 yards. There was no stopping Geno Smith this day.
And that's impressive. And whenever I look at the Arizona team and the Philadelphia team, I just see two teams that have similar formats but have been executed completely differently, and part of that's on coaching, part of that's on who you draft, and part of that's on who you use. I find it ironic that Zach Ertz is really the glue that keeps those two teams together, because he was on the Eagles, now he's on the Cardinals.
Being hardly ever used.
The Cardinals are just a mess, and it starts from coaching on down. It should definitely be fixed soon if Arizona wants.
Before we move to the next game, I was shocked to hear this name. Bruce Irvin's still there. He was drafted all the way back in 2012. He's a part of the old Legion of Boom. I don't know. It's just shocked that he got a sack in this game. I didn't know he was still a part of the team.
I know that it is sort of bizarre that they sort of brought him back because he was on the Raiders for a while and then he was just a journeyman. Now he's back in Seattle.
It just feels, it feels weird. Oh, by the way, before we move on to the next three games, Robbie Anderson, how's that working out for you? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, I don't even think he's really been targeted that much.
He got targeted for -4 yards. Great.
So next game is Buccaneers beating the Rams, 16-13.
That's
Gosh,
all.
this game sucked.
That is all.
Then Titans losing the Chiefs 2017 in another 20-17 game. 4 games.
This game.
This game was decided by 2 people, Derrick Henry and Patrick Mahomes. Derrick Henry ran for, if I'm correct, it was like 22 attempts for over 130 yards rushing.
Oh yeah, he could have won this game, but for some reason they stopped running it with him after a while. For some reason.
And then Patrick Mahomes threw it nearly 69 times. Just crazy.
He's a crazy man. The thing I gotta mention, the big play of this game that changed everything. Firstly, was Patrick Mahomes, literally in one drive using his legs, one big run, one touchdown run, and a 2-point conversion run. That changed the game. But it's what Titans did either before or after this. There was a 3rd and 9. They were in field goal range. You know, up to this point, Steve has proven that he cannot get the ball downfield. If he is, he's struggling because he hasn't, you know, his O-line is pretty much crapping on him. So instead of running with Derrick Henry to get more into field goal range to further the lead, they decide to throw with Steve, to which he throws it and gets him out of field goal range. Titans did this themselves. They had this game. They literally did.
And now I'm sort of curious how they're going to be using Malik Willis because, I mean, we're not going to judge him too soon. It's only one game, but, dude, really?
Golly.
Okay, and then finally, it was the Monday Night Snooze Fest. Ravens beating the Saints, 27-13. It just sucked.
Yeah, that's all for that.
That's all. Okay, yeah, now moving on to the next topic of discussion, our players of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So my quarterback of the week is Geno Smith.
Oh.
He 26-34, 275 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 106.9 passer rating, 76.4 completion percentage.
My quarterback of the week, Patrick Mahomes, 43 for 68, 446 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT, 63% completion percentage, 80.9 pass rating, and you'll also see on the screen his running yards during the game as well.
My running back of the week goes to Joe Mixon. 22 carries, 153 yards rushing, 7.0 average yard per carry, and 4 touchdowns.
Same here. You people are saying Joe Mixon's historically bad this season. Let him prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, my wide receiver of the week goes to Justin Jefferson. 7 receptions, 115 yards receiving, 16.4 average yard per reception, and 1 touchdown. 1 really great touchdown.
My wide receiver of the week is Tyreek Hill, 7 receptions, 143 receiving yards, 15.9 yards per reception, 1 touchdown. Major help in that Dolphins win.
And then I think both of our defensive player of the week, Kirby Joseph, 5 solo tackles, 5 assisted tackles, 2 interceptions for the
and
Lions.
And a very important SWAT in the end of the game. So yeah, definitely.
So now let's move on over to a little corner. Let's go to my rankings of the week. Starting with college football rankings. So let's start with number 25, Coastal Carolina, 24, Florida State, 23, Texas, 22, Notre Dame, 21, Washington, up 4. By the way, all the other teams previously were unranked. Washington moves up 4 after a fun Pac-12 After Dark game on Friday night, beating Oregon State. At 20, Illinois going down after going down to Michigan State, who just sucks. 19, Cincinnati going up 3, 18, UCF going up 3, NC State at 17 going up 2, Penn State only going up 1 at number 16. They're not going to the college football playoffs this year. 15 goes Bama down 8 after an upset loss to LSU. I mean, the stadium was rocking that night, and I was drunk.
Alabama's number 15 on this ranking system. Yours, the superior one.
And yeah, the superior one. The reason why it's superior is because I'm fair, and you'll see why. So 14 goes North Carolina, staying there. didn't really do anything impressive. 13, similar to Lane. 12, Clemson going down 7 after losing in upsetting fashion to Notre Dame. Their loss is actually uh, more embarrassing than the Alabama one, because at the very least, LSU was ranked.
Also,
Notre Dame
LSU
wasn't
is a
fucking
good team.
ranked. Also, more on that, Alabama only lost by a point. Notre Dame whipped Clemson's ass 35-14.
Fucking suck it, bruh.
11, Utah moving up 1. 10 remains Ole Miss. 9 is Tennessee going down by 5 after losing to Georgia, and they were getting bitch slapped throughout the entire game. 8, LSU moving up 8. And now there's a reason why. Normally, I would probably move them up 4 or 5 slots, but I had to move them up 8 solely because of who they beat, the way that they beat them, and overall, just how the committee themselves, the actual committee, will look at them as the college football playoff rankings will come out tonight. They ranked LSU way too high last week. They ranked them at number 10. That's fucking ridiculous for a 2-loss team. That's why I had them at 15. I was playing it conservatively. But the thing is, I try at the very least to, in the top 5, top 10, try to match the college football playoff rankings where I believe they should be. And for so long, I can only hold back something that's so drastic than everything else. So that's why I have LSU at number 8 as well. In fact, I actually think they came out as I speak. Let me read that to you. Let me read.
Wow, that's just beautiful timing.
I'll read the actual rankings out to you after I'm done with mine. 7, UCLA moving up 4. 6, TCU moving up 3. 5, USC moving up 3. 4, Oregon moving up 3. Ohio State goes down by 1 after nearly beating 1-7 Northwestern team. 2, Michigan going up 1 after shutting out, second half shutout of Rutgers 59-17 was the final score for that. And 1 remains as it always should have been, Georgia. Now let's go to the actual top 35. I'm just curious. The timing. Just because the timing.
It's just like, when it comes out, okay.
25, Washington. By the way, this is the College Football Playoff Committee's top 25, the official one. So, 25, Washington. 24, Kentucky. 23, Florida State. 22, UCF moving up 3. Illinois going down 5 to number 21, Notre Dame. 20, Kansas State going down 6 to number 19. 18 is Texas going up 6. Tulane is 17 going up 2. By the way, they have all these teams ranked completely different places. So I should just note that.
I could already tell that from Tulane you're ranking.
North Carolina State moving up 6 to 16. North Carolina moving up 2 to 15. Penn State moving up 1 to 14. Utah moving up 1 to 13. UCLA remains 12. Ole Miss remains 11. Clemson going down to 10 at 6. They only dropped Bama to 9? These assholes!
Number 15 for you. There's a big difference there.
8 is USC moving up 1. LSU is number 7 moving up 3. I still don't like Bama only being 9. That does not take them out of contention whatsoever.
They should be in the double digits.
They should at the very least be 10 or 11. I mean, I understand it was a close loss, but still, it's bullshit.
2 losses now.
6 or LSU shouldn't even be that high realistically. But the College Football Playoff Committee has a SEC bias. 6, Oregon moving up 2. Tennessee down to 5, moving down 4. I mean, it's pretty close to what I had them anyways. TCU moving up to number 4, going up 2. Michigan going up 2 to number 3. Ohio State still remains at 2. Georgia goes up 2 because they had Georgia at 3, which was just sort of confusing to me. So yeah, those are the official rankings coming out at the most perfect time.
Like, beautiful timing. And wow, there's a fucking difference between your all's rankings. Higher.
Yeah. So, okay, let's move on to the football, the NFL ranking. So, 32, Texans, where you belong. 31, Bears, not for long. 30 goes to Steelers. Yeah. 29, Raiders, should be lower, but they won a game. 28, Panthers. This seems fitting now. 27, Colts. It's Jeff Saturday. 26, Saints. Yeah, we're in the gutter. 25, Arizona. But at least we don't have Cliff Kingsbury. 24, the Packers. Mike LaFleur. 23, Lions. Yeah. Biting kneecaps. 22, the Jaguars. 21, Rams. 20, fuck the Bucks. 19, Atlanta. 18, who are we, Nilsson?
The Commanders!
17, Deshaun Watson. 16, Russell Wilson. 15,
That's right.
the Bengals. 14, the Jets, shockingly. 13, the Dolphins. 12 goes to Billy Chicks.
Woo.
11 is 49ers. 10, the Titans. 9, the Chargers.
Hold up.
Don't get comfortable there.
I'm never gonna get comfortable.
8, the Brian Day Balls. 7, Pete Carroll's secret plan to success.
Release
6, the Ravens. 5, Dallas. 4, Buffalo, only moving down a couple of spots because let's be real here, unless the Buffaloes lose to Minnesota, they're dropping out of the top fucking 8. Right. 3, Kansas City Mahomes. 2, hey,
Minnesota!
I'm OJ Minnesota. 1 is Philadelphia. So yeah, those were my rankings. Now we're going to I'll take this over to Kyle.
What an absolute surprise!
Predictions now.
Hold on, I got the Google Doc set, but fucking Google. Sorry, I got the Google set, but not the Google Doc because Google Doc closed. Here we go. Now we got a set. So the first game of the week is not what everyone anyways looking up forward to. The Falcons and the Panthers in a rematch, and I don't care. I pick the Falcons to win because they're perfectly average. So win, they'll lose.
I picked the Falcons too.
So we got the Germany game. Yes, we're going to go to old Germany.
Munich.
We have the Seahawks versus the the Buccaneers.
What?
I pick the Seahawks to win. Geno Smith's beaten Brady before. He can do it again.
I too pick Seattle.
Next, we have the Lions versus the Bears. And listen, Lions looked really great against the Packers. The problem is because the Packers suck. Bears actually do look good, and they have been getting better with each and every week. I pick the Bears.
I also pick the Bears.
Next, we have the Browns versus the Dolphins. And Browns, guess what? It's only one more week until Watson's back. Browns are surely going to keep themselves in playoff contention. I pick the Browns to beat the Dolphins.
I have a question for you, Kyle.
What's that?
How many sexual assault allegations does Tua have?
A lot to his head.
That an answer?
No. I mean, 0.
That's how many points the Browns will score. Give me the Dolphins!
Ooh, let's see how much you agely add on that. Next, we have the Broncos versus the Titans, and I am picking the Broncos to win. Why? Well, honestly, I think this Broncos defense can shut down Henry. If you can shut down Henry, you pretty much beat the Titans. Easily.
I'm picking the Titans because I don't think I think you put too much faith in Russell Wilson. It's not about shutting down Henry. It's about letting Russ cook. Because if Russ cooks, it's going to be a house fire.
Could be a house fire, but the Titans are also pretty much a walking flame as well.
If Ryan Tannehill starts, the Titans win. It's not because Ryan Tannehill's good. It's just because he runs the offense a little bit better than Malik Willis.
He's a game manager, really. Next, we got the Vikings versus the Bills, a game that is unsure of because we don't know if Josh Allen's hurt or not. And this is a very cautious pick, but I'm picking the Bills to defeat the Vikings.
I'm picking the Vikings to defeat the Bills based off a coin toss. So that shows how little faith I have in myself.
Yeah, Texans versus the Giants.
Giants.
Jaguars versus the Chiefs. Chiefs,
yeah. No.
Saints versus Steelers. I pick the Saints.
Oh, ye of too much faith. I'm picking the Steelers. Fuck you.
I've had no faith for the last few weeks. Why the fuck am I giving myself faith now? I have.
Yeah,
no idea.
why?
Why? I have no reason why.
I've jumped ship. Why are you still on board? You jumped back on board. There was a plank there. That was meant for me, not for you.
I took it, man. I fucking took it. I don't know why. You know who took a chance? The fucking Colts. Colts versus the Raiders. Jeff Saturday's debut as head coach. Oh, fucking boy, how's this gonna go? Not good at all. Raiders.
Give me the Colts. I'm going to tell you why. Jim Irsay's not a sausage guy. He doesn't know how sausages are made, but he's a football guy.
He's a football guy.
So
Bruce
I have
Arians.
faith.
Woo!
I have faith.
I want to
Jim
have faith.
Irsay.
I want to have faith. I even said it before the podcast. Fuck! Fuck! Even Josh McDaniels has more experience at head coaching than Jeff Saturday. I'm just saying.
Hey, look, Jeff Saturday may have gone 3-7 and got fired from his previous job as a high school head coach. He may have only been hired on as a consultant for the team's offensive line. He also may be a part of a boys club that just allows white people to become head coaches because of previous ownership. All into consideration, I'm picking Jeff Saturday because a coach with no experience is still a better coach than Josh McDaniels.
This is unironically become game of the week for chaos.
I fucking hope I have this game just to see what happens. Even if it's a blowout, even the Raiders smoke the Colts, it's going to be entertaining to see Jeff Saturday's reactions on the sidelines.
Immediately he's about to go 0.0 in his coaching record.
And hey, to any Jonathan Taylor fantasy owners, be happy if he's starting, because Jeff Saturday will run the fucking ball. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We know anything from that conversation he had with Peyton Manning on the sideline for that one game on Mic'd Up. He will run the ball.
And he said he paid to yell at the whole entire Colts team now.
So, give me the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to win by 7 points. They're only going to score 7 points. There's no in between.
7-0. Good God. Next, Cardinals versus the Rams. This is where the fun stops. Rams. I don't care about either teams, man. I don't.
Rams, but also at the same time, it could be the Cardinals. I don't care.
Or tie. Next.
Fuck it, tie.
Cowboys versus Packers. I don't know if finally Mike McCarthy's getting revenge on the Packers, but here we go. I think he's going to do it. Packers suck now.
Yeah, I picked the Cowboys.
Next, Sunday Night Football, a game I'm not complaining about. Chargers versus 49ers. Gosh, I don't know, really. Chargers. I mean, why not?
I'm picking the 49ers, and this mainly came down to not really the talent, but mainly the coaching. You have two master choke artists, right? Let's just get that straight. Master fucking choke artists. Master fucking choke artists here. I think Kyle Shanahan's offense is currently better than the Chargers' defense. Now, does that mean I'm going to be right? No, that does not mean I'm going to be right at all. The 49ers can easily go 4-5 just as easily as the Chargers could go 5-4. This point, all West Coast teams are completely the exact opposite of where I had them to be, besides the Chargers somehow.
Yet they play like the fucking record.
Like, the Chargers are the one team that I had 5-3 at this point in the season. Whenever I was making all my predictions at the start of the year, which next time I will do that on video, they're the only team that I had as the record that they are. Only team. So, give me the 49ers. Fuck it.
Watch you be wrong. Next, Monday Night Football. Commanders versus the Eagles. And Eagles, they're going to continue on and be 9-0 for the first time ever.
Right hand up, who are we?
The Commanders! No fucking
No,
way.
Eagles, fuck you.
Oh, okay. You said
I said right hand up.
Oh.
Not left hand up. Okay. Right hand's for Philadelphia. Right? Philadelphia, even though they're technically southpaw. Right hand is for Rocky. It's for Jalen Hurts. It's for Nick Foles. It's for the
big dick man.
It's for that horrible statue outside their stadium where neither of the people are on that team anymore.
They both left in under 5 years.
Congratulations, Philadelphia. It's for a team, also I think they should have Nick Sirianni there, just for getting them to 8-0 for the first time ever. No, the Eagles, I mean, the Commanders have a chance to win. There's a chance to do that. You have to contain Jalen Hurts. That's the only way that you can win, though. Because
if they play like they did against the Vikings, then they have a chance. And even if they don't win, they have a chance at the playoffs. The NFC is really fucking weak, bro.
And on the offensive side, really comes down to Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke just has to do enough to win. He doesn't have to be this master baller, throwing, upsetting people left and right. That's not who Taylor Heineke is. It's all about just making the little things count. The 5-yard checkdowns, the running for 3 yards for a first down. doing the right stuff and not playing hero ball. The shame about Kaneki is that he reminds me so much of Brett Favre minus stealing from the poor.
Twice.
With and also apparently in recent news, allegedly, getting him, this is Brett Favre by the way, getting himself involved in a scheme with two concussion companies that like are supposed to heal concussions, and their cream doesn't work. Weird shit.
Ooh,
Weird shit.
not
It's
not,
Brett
not a good
Favre's not
look.
the he's not the only person involved. It's a 38-person scheme, but still not a good look for a Hall of Famer to be in.
This is one of his bad picks. It seems.
Yeah. But no, I'm going with the Eagles because fuck it.
Cause chaos. But
Okay.
the last topic is about, for once, it's not the predictions ending it. It's the top topic on coaches and which teams are gonna have no coaches next season, and from anybody around the football world, who is, unless you're Jeff Saturday, who is gonna be in the head coaching position.
Now we picked last night. We picked 6 teams who we believe are going to have a head coaching slot filled, or head a vacancy. Panthers, Cardinals, Broncos, Raiders, Colts, and left hand up.
Commanders.
There you go. The Commanders. So let's start it off. Let's start with the Panthers. Who do you got, Kyle?
For the Panthers, I have Brian Flores. As you know, Brian Flores, as a coach in his experience, oh my gosh, from 2008-2009, he was special teams assistant for the Patriots. As a 10, he was an assistant offensive guy and a special teams head coach, defensive assistant in 2011, the safeties coach from 2012 to 2015, the linebackers coach from 2016 to 2018. And the biggest resume to him is the Dolphins head coach from 2019 and 2021, where he basically got robbed, and I will never let go of my hatred for the Dolphins for it. And as of this year, he's the senior defensive assistant and linebackers head coach for the Steelers. And why I pick the Panthers for Brian Flores, I have a feeling after this year, Brian Flores, because he's doing pretty well right now for the Steelers. He's probably one of the most bright spots in that coaching staff that's absolutely struggling. Mike Tomlin trying to keep it together. He's going to go for a Panthers team that's kind of growing, building, because that's what he was doing for the Dolphins. He was trying to build with the Dolphins. The problem was he wasn't allowed to because the ownership was trying to make him tank, and when he wanted to do what he wanted to do, he pretty much got kicked to the curb, and I hope the Dolphins fucking fail for that reason. I have a feeling maybe Panthers are open for anything. They're not going to be like the Dolphins. They're going to listen. I don't think Bryant's going to be forced to tank. He has a good quarterback there, P.J. Walker. The Panthers have a pretty good young defense that Bryant can work with because he has, experience, coaching defense and all that. That's why I feel Brian Flores is probably the perfect option for the Panthers, a growing team.
Well, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going to go with Bill O'Brien, another former NFL head coach. He was running the college slate for the longest time until he found himself in New England with the Patriots from 2007 to 2010, or to be 2011. He was the Penn State head coach for 2 years in 2012 and 2013, helping him during the scandals. He eventually made his way to Houston, where everything that he did in Houston happened. Towards the end, for the final 2 years, very, very horrible. Very, very horrible. But he did lead them to the playoffs and won multiple playoff games. I think he would be a good fit for the Panthers, mainly in the sense of he knows how to win, and he could sort of help build up that team again. Or he could just risk his NFL record, which is 54 and 52. Anyway.
Oh boy.
Now, up next is the Cardinals. Who do you have?
Oh, here comes the chaos option. So, it's been reported that Josh McCown is looking to become a coach. Because of the Colts making this possible, I have a feeling that Josh McCown is somehow, someway, the guy that got fucking drafted by the Cardinals is going to go back to where he came from. He's going to become the head coach of the Cardinals. I have a feeling, something tells me, Cliff's going to get fired, obviously. And Cardinals are going to step right into making another mistake again and go for Josh. Because he has experience. From 20 years ago. Something tells me it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, what I said about Josh McCown is that's the ultimate boys club option. My pick is a bit more reasonable, to say the least. My pick for a head coach for Arizona is current Rams defensive coordinator and former Buccaneers head coach Raheem Morris. He was also the interim head coach at in Atlanta, and he's been around for a while. He was defensive coordinator, defensive back coach for Washington, and he really has a good grasp on the game. In fact, this year the Rams defense currently is ranked number 11, whereas last year, if it will load, thank you, they were ranked at number 15. So it's a slow progressions for me. And I'd like to see what you can do with a second chance, you know?
Oh yeah.
Now let's start with let's go over to Denver. Ooh, this should be interesting.
Here we go. Let me pull up my guy. I pick the current Giants defensive coordinator, Don Martindale. He has been coaching for a very long ass time. My goodness gracious. He's been well, let's just say he has been coaching since 1986. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is a big track record. I am not naming all of this, but just so you know, he has been in the defensive coaching for 30 years now. And currently, right now, Giants defense is definitely really, really great, surprisingly. So I have a feeling he will go to the Broncos, because Broncos, they need a whole lot of work on the offense, and it's very clear Hackett is weighing down the team because he's trying to, put his hand to the things that shouldn't be done. I have a feeling Don's going to go to the Broncos and definitely be that defensive head coach that helps the defense out. But I have a feeling he's not going to be a coach that tries, interfering with what the offense does. Kind of like Sean Payton did with the defense, not interfering with that. You do your job, I do my job.
Oh, that's interesting.
I have a feeling that that's what's going to be happening with Don.
My pick for the Broncos head coaching job is Jets offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur in a league that keeps on getting progressively younger at head coach. I think Mike LaFleur, who already has connections with his brother being the current head coach of the Packers, would easily be recommended for the job. I mean, he has no prior real head coaching experience. He was a passing game coordinator for the 49ers. There's another connection, Kyle Shanahan, who was offensive assistant for the Falcons and Browns with his brother over there. So he obviously has the connections that would get him this head coaching job, especially in the West Coast, so close to his brother. I think he would be a fit that would be perfect for the Broncos, considering that new ownership. They want someone who's a mastermind offensive coordinator, because clearly Nathaniel Hackett wasn't hacking it. And also at the same time, I think it's an option that could work or could go horribly wrong. But the offense needs to be improved, and he's an offensive coordinator, and the Jets' offense has definitely improved in just 2 years of him being an offensive coordinator, moving up from 28 to overall right now number 14.
Wow, that's actually a lot of improvement.
Oh, yeah. Now, next up is who we think is going to get fired, Josh McDaniels. Raiders, who do you have?
Jim Caldwell. I think Jim Caldwell he's had a lot of experience. He's been coaching, since the fucking 70s. But what's noteworthy, his prior head coaching experience, which was with the Colts back in 2009 to 2011. That last year's not so good, but he did bring the Colts to their, final Super Bowl appearance. Then he was head coach for the Lions from 2014 to 2017, helping Lions get their first playoff appearance in about a few years, almost a playoff win, 2 playoff appearances actually during his time. He has a 62-50 record as a head coach. 2-4 postseason record. Jim Caldwell has kind of been out of, the coaching for the last few years now, but he did try going for some interviews, not only last year. I have a feeling that Raiders, they have a really good team here. They just cannot get the coach. Let me tell you, John Gruden, Josh McDaniels, they are not the people to run this team. I have a feeling Jim Caldwell is going to make a comeback season. It's been a few years since he's been in the NFL. He's going to land a spot right back in the Raiders again, because he's a guy that, helps build teams up. That's what he did with the Lions. He's going to do the same thing with Raiders and make him a winning football team.
Yeah. With Raiders, I believe it's going to be, pretty close to what you had. I'm going to go with first-time head coach Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs' offensive coordinator. I think, they want to bring in someone with younger vision, someone who's had success elsewhere. Not saying that Jim hasn't, but they want to bring in someone who they think could refine their offense because they have a lot of offensive talent. It's the defense needs fixing. I think Eric could be the type of guy that could hire the right type of guys to build the culture to be excellent, to be really great, and also. Oh, Eric seems like the type of guy that would want to beat his former mentor, Andy Reid. We'll see how well that goes for him. But I can see him, staying in the division, taking a head coaching slot with Las Vegas. He has prior experience. I said obviously, current office coordinator with the Chiefs, but even prior to that, he was Minnesota Vikings running back coach from 06 to 09. He was the offensive coordinator for Colorado over in college level. Chiefs running back coach from 2013 2017. He's been the OC for Kansas City since 2018. This is his final year under contract, which is just wild to think.
Wow.
Up is going to be the Colts.
I got a great guy here. I have the current Eagles offensive coordinator, Shane Steichen. Now, he's only been in the league or coaching since 2010. He was Louisville's offensive assistant back in 2010, Chargers defensive assistant from 2011-2012, offensive quality controls coach 2013, offensive qualities coach from 2014-2015. Sorry, that was for the Browns in 2013. He was a quarterbacks coach from 2016-2019, where Philip Rivers was actually playing the best of his abilities. Not 2019 though. He was interim offensive coordinator in 2019, offensive coordinator in 2020, and the offensive coordinator from 2021 to present. The reason why I pick Shane is because Shane is behind two quarterbacks that are currently really great right now. Firstly, Justin Herbert is rookie season. He's a major help in what helped Justin Herbert get used to the field and that. And Justin Herbert, if he was not in the Chargers, could be a hell of a lot more higher in his stats right now. And Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense has improved greatly from 2021 to 2022. They're much more electrifying with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is playing the exact opposite of what he was these last couple of years. I have a feeling that he's going to branch off from the Eagles and he's going to go to the Colts, who have a young quarterback in Sam Ehlinger, and I have a feeling that Shane's also going to try to help him, find his way with the NFL. He's already has a track record with two other quarterbacks, and Sam has shown a lot of potential. So with a Colts team like this, I have a feeling he's just going to go for it. An offensive guy.
Now, I think the Colts are going to go on the other side of the ball with the defensive coordinator being the head coach. I think that's going to be DeMarco Ryan. Now, if you don't know who he is the current 49ers defensive coordinator, and he's been with the 49ers his entire run in the NFL. He was defensive quality control coach in 2017, the inside linebackers coach from 2018 and 2020. Then when Robert Saleh left for the Jets head coaching job, he stepped up to be the DC. And, he's kept the ship afloat. They're right now ranked 5th in total team defense this year. And then even last year, they were still very impressive, being ranked at number 9. So I think that is a perfect enough resume for this Colts team. Also, they have something that a lot of teams like. He's a young guy. He's only 38 years old. Hell, he retired as an Eagles player in 2015.
Holy shit.
So that's how recent he is in the NFL. So I think he has a lot of connections. He's the type of guy that he understands the current modern day players. He was one not too long ago. And he's someone that could really help benefit any team that he coaches.
Funny, both of our guys are young. Shane is 37.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, young head coaches.
And finally, it is the Commanders up.
I think we both have the same one here. I don't know, but I have Cliff Kingsbury. The reason why, there is no way. Think about this logically, okay? He's had success with the Cardinals, taking it, because, people look at analytics now. They don't look at the whole picture. So, back to the Commanders here. They're not going to look at the whole picture here with Cliff. They're going to look at how Cliff was consistent as head coach with the Cardinals when he really wasn't. Winning records, That's what they're going to do. I don't see the Commanders. I don't see anybody going to the Commanders, man. After Ron retires, gets fired, I have a feeling there's no way Cliff does not go to a team. He's going somewhere, and I have a feeling Commanders are going to be the ones that are stupid to go for it. Because they also are getting new ownership. And I know ownership was not supposed to be taken to play with this, but it's just more, the whole team has so much going on. They're going to get Cliff. I just see it happening. I don't see anything good happening to this team. I'm sorry.
Well, who I believe is going to be their new head coach is going to be Jim Caldwell.
Oh, this is the
Former Colts.
This is the good option.
Yeah, this is a good option. Former Colts and Vikings head coach. The dude has experience. He knows what he's doing. He was even the Ravens defense coordinator for a short time after the Colts fired him. I mean, Nilsson pretty much said it all. The dude has a great resume. He's been to the Super Bowl before, and he has that prior success. I think that's what the new ownership's going to look at. Something similar to what Ron Rivera had. Been to the Super Bowl, veteran of coaching, has understands the league. So I think that's where the Commanders are going to go.
Ooh. And well, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Bye bye.
Bye bye now.